Hey guys, I know it's been 2 weeks since I posted my first video and I'm just getting around to posting another one, and I could probably give you about 100 reasons as to why that is, and all of them would probably be right, but none of them are connected, so I don't feel it's important. So basically, I'm sorry, but I don't think there are too many of y'all who are really waiting on it. I did not receive any valid requests on what I was going to make my video on this week, so I had to choose myself, and that was a big part of why it took me so long, because I just really wanted to pick a topic that I felt was really good. So, this week's, hold on, there's something popped up on my computer. Okay, so this week's topic is on growing up in the Bible Belt. So, basically, I'm pretty positive that none of you knew I lived in the Bible Belt, and some of you might even be wondering, what is the Bible Belt? So, I have a definition that I'm going to read off to you guys of what the Bible Belt is. So, the Bible Belt is an informal term for an area of the U.S. in which socially conservative evangelical Protestantism is a significant part of the culture, and Christian church attendance is extremely high. So, that's great. You know, you're thinking, oh, we've got all these people in the South and they're all going to church. That's awesome. But, what some of you may not know, I'm sure a lot of you do know this, but, Catholics are not Protestant. So, what does that mean for the Catholic Church in the Bible Belt? Well, that basically means it's virtually non-existent. And what I mean by that is, in the county where I live, not the city, the county, we have one Catholic church. Now that may just, some of you, maybe where you live, that's normal or whatever, but I'm just going to put this in perspective for you guys. In the city where I live, not the county, now I'm just talking about the city where I live, we have 14 non-denominational churches, 17 Church of God, 30 Methodist, 37 Church of Christ, and 123 Baptist churches. In the city alone, not the county, just the city. In the whole county, we only have one Catholic church. Now, that kind of blows my mind because the Catholic Church is responsible for estimated around 1.1, 1.2 billion souls. Not million, billion. And, you know, when I just sit there and think about that, that's mind-blowing to me that we only have one. And, no, we do not have a lot of people who really go to our church. You know, a lot of people think that our church is big because we do have pretty big facility. However, our parish is in a lot of debt, and you know, I live in the South, which obviously is close to Mexico, and Hispanics are known for being Catholic, very strong Catholics, so I would say most of our church is Mexicans or Hispanics. And so we don't even see them in our church services because most of them go to the Spanish Mass. So, you know, mainly people who go to our English services are just older couples. We do not have a lot of young people at all. Like our youth group, we do not have a lot of people. I mean, it's fun, and I love my youth group, but, you know, we do not have a lot of people who even, I'm sure we might have more, but a lot of people just do not show up because, you know, we have a lot of cradle Catholics, and so they're not really participating. So, yeah, we, on a good day, may have like 10 people in our youth group, maybe. Not that many. Yes, so growing up in the Bible Belt, when I was younger, I went to Catholic school, so it wasn't that big a deal. Like, I was totally immersed in Catholic culture, pretty much, throughout elementary school. And so, like, I never was asked questions because, you know, we were getting a Catholic education. You know, the teachers were Catholic, most of the kids were Catholic, so it was okay. But it wasn't until about 5th grade that, when I went to public school for the first time, and that's when it really sets in. In my classes, I have maybe one Catholic friend, I think would be safe to say. One. Not a lot. So, you know, and I'm in like a higher level classes. I'm in the IB program at my school, and so we're really about, that program is really about, you know, world cultures, you know, learning about how people live, and not just being so close-minded to, you know, we're not just thinking about the South where we live, which is a really conservative Protestant place. And so, you know, we do talk about religion a lot, and I do like my group at school because, you know, they're more open-minded about it just because we've all been in this program for a while. And so, yeah, we do have a lot of discussions, and some of what we believe is totally different. And yes, I do get hassled about it by some people. Most of the time it's people, you know, in a respectful kind of debate, but, you know, sometimes you do get rude people. And probably one of my biggest pet peeves is just seeing people walk around the hallways wearing rosaries as necklaces. You know, you can go to stores and they sell rosaries as accessories now. That kind of bothers me, but I don't think that's not just like the Bible Belt. I'm pretty sure that's like everywhere now. Like rappers are kind of into that. And, that's sad that, you know, they're never gonna know what it really is, and I'll really will explain in more detail about exactly what that is in a later video. But yeah, it is hard, you know, not being around kids who share similar morals and stuff, and then, like, you know, it'd be okay if people let you alone about it if they're like, okay, because that's what I try to do, because I have friends who believe totally drastically different things than I do, and, like, I don't really try to talk them out of what they believe, because I mean, I think that for the most part, what kind of religion and family you're born into, that's what you're going to believe. And, like, whether you're Jewish or Muslim or Mormon or Baptist or whatever you may be, it's really essentially what you're grown up into. It's just, however, the people who are more driven to learn about other faiths and really question it, that's when you really learn what you are. And so, in that aspect, growing up in the Bible Belt has been a good thing, because, you know, if you're living in a place where everyone's Catholic, you know, you're not going to know anything else. But since I'm living in such a diverse area, you know, it gives me a chance to explore other churches, you know, ask questions, and so it really just helps strengthen your faith in that way. I know some people whose parents, you know, they won't let them go to other people's churches because they don't want them to question, or, like, don't want them to be pulled away from the faith. My parents are the opposite. My parents encourage that. They want me to learn about other faiths and, you know, ask questions, because by doing that, you're only going to strengthen your own faith. So if you had asked me a few years ago what my thoughts are of growing up in the Bible Belt, I would have said I hated it. It was awful. But, you know, a few years older, get a little bit wiser, you know, get a little bit further in your education, in being exposed to a lot more things in society. Now I would have to say that growing up in the Bible Belt has actually been a real positive, no matter how mind-blowing it may be to me that we only have one Catholic church. But, yeah, so that's basically all I had to say about what it's been like growing up in the Bible Belt. As always, you can leave a request in the comments, you can email me, or you can send me a message on YouTube. So I guess I'll see you, I can't promise next week because, you know, we know what happened these last 2 weeks. So I will see you when I see you. So bye.